It's been a minute.
Sup, nerds?
What's up, bitches?
Well, not bitches.
No, not bitches. Nerds. What's up, people? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And we're back from...
Oh, boy.
From our... Oh!
No. She's on vacation.
Mrs. Butterscotch is here as well. Oh, how I've missed you both. You look swell, let me tell you. Do you want some butter biscuits I've baked? Mrs. Butterscotch butter biscuits. They're the best, delicious, most delicious butterscotch biscuits.
Oh, they're butterscotch biscuits.
No, they're butternut squash biscuits.
You said they were butter biscuits.
They're butternut squash
Butternut squash.
Butternut squash.
Butternut squash butter biscuits. Butternut squash butterscotch butter biscuits.
Yes, exactly. You got it right, my dear. You got it right.
Butternut squash butterscotch butter biscuits.
Yes, that's right. That's what they are.
Okay. Are they vegan?
They're not. It's butter. Do you want to have a taste?
No, I'm vegan.
Oh, that's such a shame, dear.
What's vegan?
That's such a shame. Let me tell you, that's the wrong kind of diet for you.
Probably why. Tell me.
Please
enlighten me.
Because butter is an essential. It's essential for, let me tell you, it's an essential.
Let me tell you, it's an...
Oh, who is this, though?
This is... Mr. Butterscotch.
She's married.
Of course he's married.
Okay.
No, we're back.
Thank God.
Let's just
cut
that shenanigans out.
Let's, as if I'm part of it.
You interacted with Mrs. Butterscotch, so you fueled her energy.
Yeah.
You fueled my energy, dear.
I like a good tongue twister.
Yeah, so we have been on hiatus. For a good month, I think.
Oh, like 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I have a little more actually. The last episode was about what was it called? The thing.
The thing. Oh,
what was it? What is the Mandela effect? Mandela effect. And a lot of people actually liked that episode.
Mom likes that episode.
Yeah, she didn't even listen to it. So your mom likes that episode.
She might not have listened
probably
to it.
not. Our mothers don't like our podcast.
My mom likes our podcast.
Yeah, she says that and never listens to it though.
That's not true. She listens to it sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, so we thought we'll catch you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not much happened. Nope.
Not really much.
Actually, the thing that we thought would be nice to talk about was Sziget.
Sziget!
So just to quickly back you up a little bit. So in June, we participated in a Gewinnspiel, what is it called? Like in a giveaway.
Yep.
And we actually won tickets for Sziget.
And the reason I was so excited about it, so Sziget is a music festival in Budapest.
Yes, on like an island in the middle of the river Danube.
And it's like a 6-day music festival that neither of us had ever heard of before.
Exactly, yeah.
And it was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And the reason that we wanted to, or at least me, I was so hoping we would win, is because the headliner was Billie Eilish.
On the final day, on the final night.
And she's like
Billie Eilish played, yes.
My probably top 3 bucket list people to see live.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But
amazing.
So we participated and I won, technically. But we won. So I gifted my second ticket to my wife.
She tagged me in it too, though.
Yeah, but still.
So if you wouldn't have taken me, it would have been pretty shitty.
Yeah, but still, I gifted you my ticket, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
You still owe me money for that. 280 euros, please.
You didn't have to pay for it, so
yeah, exactly for my ticket. But I sold you my ticket, so you still owe me 280.
Okay.
But let's do it 250 because we know each other.
Wow.
So yeah, I initially actually I really hoped that we would not win. Simply because I didn't want to plan a trip down there. But in hindsight, is it hindsight? Yeah, in hindsight, I was stupid because it was all lovely. And let's go. So, we traveled there by car because apparently the train is pretty shitty and some Austrian guys who we met on the public train there confirmed that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
4.5-hour drive. And it was actually a decent drive down there. And we stayed at a hotel that was kind of located close to the festival.
Yeah, I mean, when we were, or I was planning like where we would stay, I wanted to find something that wasn't in the middle of Budapest because it still takes a little bit to get. I mean, in hindsight, it wouldn't have taken that long, but you know, you just never know with a city you've never been to, how the public transport is, how easy it is to get around. So I didn't want to risk like, okay, now we have to take a 40-minute train or something. Or, you know, multiple buses, whatever, to get there. So I found a place that was close to the festival that theoretically we could have walked to the festival, which we did once.
Walk once, yeah.
Then, you know, it was fine. It was a I wouldn't say a nice hotel, but it was fine.
It was a nice hotel. It was not.
It wasn't like gross or something.
No, it was clean. The staff was super nice and friendly. The breakfast was okay. They had some vegan options for us, which was nice.
Minimal vegan options.
Minimal, but still, we were able to get like a decent breakfast without eating nothing or almost nothing. And I don't know, the location was, I mean, for the festival it was great, but for like being in the town itself or doing some sightseeing.
Yeah, if we went back to Budapest, I would stay more in like old town of Budapest.
Yeah, more
like
centered.
In Budapest.
More centered, yeah. But it was totally fine, and I think the for the purpose it was perfect. Mm-hmm. It was like a 10-minute ride, like a 10-minute time or travel time to the festival itself. So a 2 or 3 minute walk to the train, and then a 5-minute ride with the train. So it was perfect.
It was nice.
And yeah, the festival was amazing.
It was great. The theme of the festival this year was all about like love and like the freedom of love and
just,
you know,
being
just
inclusive,
very
and
very
open.
LGBTQ plus friendly, which was lovely and also quite shocking for Hungary,
which is a very like I think the people itself are very open.
Yeah.
But the ruling party right now and the ruling chancellor, I think, is Viktor Orban, and he's a very conservative asshole. Let me just say it blandly. He's an asshole, and he's banning a lot of those books and a lot of things that represent LGBTQ plus. And it was very interesting to see that a festival would go the complete opposite. And to be honest, being in that bubble was very refreshing, because a lot of people told us afterwards, yeah, you know, Hungary is very nice and Budapest is super nice, but the people are very unfriendly, which we couldn't really say.
But I also, you know, we didn't spend a whole lot of time in Budapest. I mean, we went there for like 2 full days or full afternoons, I guess. But we were mostly just walking around. We didn't interact with a whole lot of people.
Not really, no.
But, you know, things that we also heard were that they're more unfriendly to people of color.
Racist.
And because we are not people of color, we have a different experience.
Yeah,
so
sure. But in total, I like, if I would tell people I would say it was a very lovely trip, and people were super friendly, and the thing is, I can see Vienna is unfriendly, you know. Vienna was voted on the one side most livable city in the world again after I don't know how many years, like consecutively, but at the same time the most unfriendliest city. Or Austria was voted the most unfriendliest country, and I can see that because people are very like grantig. Very grantig is like just grumpy, but it's. And I can see that people are friendly here, but at the same time,
I think it also depends where you are in Austria. Like in a small town, like we're in a small town, and I feel like in small towns people are quite friendly. Yeah. Like you know, you're walking on the street and people say hello to you when you pass them. They smile at you. They say hello or good morning or you know whatever. It's really nice. And you go to Vienna, and I made the mistake once when we went to Vienna. I'm so used to greeting people when I walk past them because of being here. And you had a shoot or something, and I was walking not in the center of Vienna, but I was walking to the center of Vienna. So I was walking through like little neighborhoods, and I passed this old woman, and I said hello, and she gave me this look like, what the fuck? Like really kind of grumpy and like snarled at me almost. And I was like, oh yeah, it's not where we are.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so I can see that Hungary is the same. I mean, Hungary is part of Austria a long time, and yeah, it's was part. That's why I said. And so, in terms of mentality and also like, it's a very similar country.
It's similar
to Austria, but at the same time, it's completely different because of the language and I think a lot of their
culture is also different. Yeah.
But I really liked it there. I really loved the people. I loved the country. I loved the food. I mean, we found a really
nice little coffee shop the first day that we went into Budapest.
And the festival. Let's just talk about the festival. Sziget was just, I hate festivals.
Me too.
I hate the crowds at festivals usually. And I hate that a lot of people don't go there for the music, but just simply to get wasted and drunk for 3 days.
And I still did get that vibe because you're going to get the festival vibe. And so, I said this to you already, but for things like Billie Eilish, I was blown away, obviously, and we also saw Macklemore, and I was blown away by Macklemore, but I would much rather see my favorite artists at a show that's specifically their show, that you buy tickets to see their show versus a festival where you do have the hardcore fans there, but you also have people who are like just getting drunk and being obnoxious. Yeah,
and also they have limited playtime, obviously.
Yeah.
But
for a festival, that was nice, I have to say.
Yeah, sure.
I would have loved to, both Billy and Macklemore would have loved to stand there longer and listen to them, but after being at a festival all day long, it was also really, or at least all afternoon, it was really nice to know they start at this time and they end at this time, and that's it.
Yeah, no,
it was
nice.
Go.
It was nice. Even though it was basically in the middle of an island with lots of trees, and it was basically a big park, and you were able to sit almost everywhere.
Yeah.
It was pretty dusty because it didn't rain, thankfully, but at the same time, you were pretty gross at some point. So the fact that we could go back to the hotel and shower every day, or every night was super nice. And also that's how you want to have a festival, at least at a certain age, I think.
The food was also really good at the festival.
Exactly.
There were a lot of vegan places. Granted,
that was
very
amazing.
Expensive.
I mean, the whole thing was super expensive.
Yeah.
Budapest itself is not cheap. I mean, it was 3 days, so it was fine. But yeah, it was not a very inexpensive trip. But at the same time, we wanted festival tickets, so.
But I will say, I want to make a little shout out because it was awesome. We found this, I think it's a chain restaurant there, but we went, not at the festival, but just in Budapest, we found this place called Hummus Bar.
Oh yeah, Hummus Bar.
That was fucking phenomenal.
That was great. Yeah, great hummus and great falafel.
Really, really good food.
Yeah. In general, they like that's, I mean, Vienna is pretty good with that, but it seems that they embrace the vegan culture way more. Yeah, and I kind of get it because like Budapest seemed to be a very, I know that a lot of movies get shot there, and even the hotel was very international, and there were a lot of like international guests there because they had like some sort of Olympia team or just some competition or something was going on. And so I get that they have to kind of embrace that Western culture even more, or like the American, I think, even more. And I really like that. I really like that, even though the inflation and the prices are insane right now. But yeah, but I mean, in comparison to Vienna, sure, there are vegan options, but a lot of it is, the majority, I would say not all of it, but the majority is like vegan fast food. Yeah,
like junk food type things, like burgers and
but they have like we haven't even scratched the surface in Vienna yet. We always go to the same places.
I know.
Over there. Now the cuisine was amazing, and
really good.
Even I don't know, the prices were reasonable if you looked for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we made the mistake to just, because it's not euros, so we made the mistake to just go ahead almost every time and didn't really think about the conversion. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, fuck, that was fucking expensive. I mean, at the festival, that was our biggest mistake. At the festival, some of the stuff was actually reasonably priced. Like we found this churro stand that had vegan churros, and you got 5 churros, pretty decently sized for 10 euros, which was not, for a festival, not bad. It was okay. But we went to this one place because we saw it was like vegan burrito heaven or something like that. And we're like, amazing. Burritos, that sounds really so good. And again, we just didn't even look. We just were like, oh, let's just order our burritos without looking at the price or really thinking about it. Yeah. For 2 burritos, nothing else. 2 burritos. 40 euros. $40.
Each of us spent
No, actually, we got
€20.
Did we get a water there too?
We got a water.
Yeah, one water. Yeah, but it was fucking nuts.
It's really crazy.
That was nuts.
But it was like €42, I think. So technically, the water was probably only the €2. So
just to compare, that's like $39 US dollars for 2 burritos, which. Again, they were good, and the portions were
was good, yeah.
Filling. Those were massive burritos.
Everywhere at the festival, the portions were very, very generous.
So it considerably wasn't that bad, but at the same time, the worth of it was $10, like $10, $12 each, not $20.
No,
it wasn't a $20
not
burrito.
Even that.
No, I know, but that would have been a fair price. That would have been a fair price.
The actual cost to make those burritos was probably
$5.
$5. Yeah.
No,
but they were really good. It was a good burrito.
No, but
not as good as Qdoba.
I think the festival itself was very good organized. The stages were pretty cool, even though they weren't spread out pretty far. But it's insane the technology behind mapping where the sound goes and falls off, and where you can hear certain things and where you can't.
Yeah,
it's just so evolved nowadays, and you just stand there and you have the perfect sound.
Yeah.
And you just move closer to another stage and you hear that perfectly. And there's no like overlap. I mean, there's a little overlap, obviously, but
once the band
starts playing,
artist starts playing, you don't get anything from the other ones.
And it's so fucking cool. And we got some really cool, like Arlo Parks was super cool.
She was phenomenal.
I've heard some songs, but I've never really listened actively to her. She was amazing.
Yeah. Lorde
was really cool.
Awesome.
I mean, I like some Lorde stuff. I always listen to her because I like her music, but her dancing and just her whole demeanor and everything. She was so cool.
Yeah.
She just gave me shit. She just walked out there just having fun. It was so cool. Girl in Red was super cool. I've never heard of her. I've listened to some of her songs.
We both recognized some of her songs when she played. But she was also such a cool vibe and so like
cool Norwegian
chill.
musician, young but super like motivated and just
But I like her personality. It seems so chill and like loving and sweet. And then when she plays, she's like so badass.
Yeah,
and so, like,
cool.
She's really cool. I liked her a lot.
And then obviously the big ones like Macklemore, like parties hard every time.
Party.
And he just, I mean, it's Macklemore, so it's not like the most deep music, but his music life is so much fun.
But
and at the same time, there's some songs like "Same Love."
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of his music is super meaningful. Like the lyrics are really
thrift store. No, but I'm saying the main music is party, which is fine because it's perfect for setting like that.
He gets really personal with a lot of his music, and I really like that about him.
Now, and he played "Same Love." He played "Same Love," and he also spoke a little bit about that stuff, and that's so cool to see someone like that do that.
Yeah,
I like Mumford. I like this.
We saw Mumford & Sons.
I like their. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I like their music once in a while. And live, they're just cool. They're really cool. The banjo live is just so cool, and they work so well live.
And I also like artists who sound the same live as they do in studio.
Yeah,
because that really shows you, they don't really tweak all that much in terms of like their voices and that. And I love that. I mean, that's the same with Billy. It's the same, with Macklemore, with Lorde. It's the same. Yeah. But I appreciate
pure
artists
musicians.
Like that. Yeah.
And M83 was a highlight for me too. It's a really cool synth pop band. I don't even know. But they make cool music and they were really cool. They
were really cool. Yeah.
They were super loud and just I don't know. I really like that. And obviously Billie Eilish was the main big thing.
That was a dream.
Yeah, there was something else that she.
How often I cried during that show.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And the amount of people. I mean, it was like I think 40,000 or 45,000.
Macklemore was 45,000, and Billy I think was more. I think Billy was probably around 50.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere it was 45,000. But yeah, it was insane. It was a sea of people, and
the majority just singing along with everything, like just massive fans.
Yeah, it was so cool. And just everybody, like from so many countries and just uniting that was really, really cool. And then after she was done playing, there was a very cool like drone show, a small little drone show.
Instead of fireworks, which because normally Sziget does fireworks.
Right.
And a lot of people I saw online were complaining like, where were the fireworks?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really like that because
I really appreciated that
they're doing such good. I mean, not obviously you can't do all of it, but they're doing such a good job to promote. Like this is our future. We need to work to come together and find solutions for things and not destroy nature and blah blah.
I mean, there was this whole like climate presentation thing on the main stage with Billy's mom who has an organization, and like some people came out from the organization and talked a lot about it, and people actually stood there and listened, which was really cool. And their big like thing that they kept saying was there is no music on a dead planet, and it's just like it was a cool way to like get that message.
Even Billy said that in her show, and that was super cool. And it kind of makes sense, and it was way cooler than fireworks. It was just an animation, and then at the end it was just Sziget in all the rainbow colors, and really cool. It was so fucking cool, and everybody loved it. I mean, people took videos and pictures of it, and it looked just amazing on the night sky. That message, it was really cool.
It was really cool.
And in general, the festival had so much more to, you could just chill out. There were chill out lounges and areas. There were things like workshops. There were dance workshops. There were areas where you could just paint or craft things.
In the morning, they had yoga.
They had yoga in the morning. There was a lot of kids stuff to do. Like a lot of people brought their kids. There was a kids area at the stage where parents could stand with the kids without them,
being in the dead center of the crowd.
And also not
being a little elevated.
Exactly,
and
being
really
elevated.
Cool.
And I don't know.
And also a handicap section that was the same.
I mean, that's everywhere, but that's obviously nice to see, sure. But it was such a very inclusive and cool experience. And in general, the festival crowd, usually, I mean, I've been to rock festivals most of the time and to one like pop rock, but the festival crowd sometimes is very like, intimidating, even though they're nice people, but sometimes it's a lot of men drinking and screaming around and being obnoxious. And I mean, we didn't really spend much time on the campsite where people camped.
Yeah.
But in general, people seemed very chill and just like laid back, and sure they were drinking, partying, but it was all like fun and low key.
Yeah.
Nothing super.
And there was
in
like
the face.
this whole section of the island that was like an art section.
Yeah,
which was also really cool.
That's what I meant with the workshops and stuff.
It was so cool. It was just like all of this, either local artists or traveling artists, and then like workshops that you could do within the art section, where it was just really, it was really
cool thing to see. I don't know. It's not. I mean, sure, it's about the music, but it's way more. And I think it's $280 for the 3 days. It's totally worth it. Yeah. Alone there, I think they have like 10 stages, a tribute stage and DJs, like really cool DJ sets, and
it goes until like 5-6 in the morning, which is insane.
And there's so much to do, and I think for every person there's something to do there. Yeah. It's a really cool festival. So
yeah, it's really cool.
So yeah, if you ever want to do something a little different and more, like if you like festivals but you don't like the typical Austrian or German festival even German festivals are way more organized than the Austrian ones, but this festival is just perfect in terms of everything, there was one night where people wanted to leave it, like a lot of people wanted to leave at the same time.
David Guetta.
But they had to. No, it was 2 a.m. already. It was way after David Guetta.
But it was the night of David Guetta.
Yeah, but a lot of people were on the island, and a lot of people wanted to leave at a certain time, and so they had to close the bridge a little.
There was only like a footbridge basically.
Yeah, so they had to make it sections and some people had to wait a little bit. But other than that, I think it was a very nice festival. And there was always space. That's also something that I liked. Sometimes at festivals, when you go to the stage, you can't go that like far if you don't want to be super closed off in a crowd. You stand super far back, but not in that festival. It seemed condensed, but at the same time not super crowded. Yeah, it was a nice thing. Yeah, and then we drove home at night, and it was fun too.
That was your idea.
After Billy. Yeah, because I thought I had a shoot, which then not happened, or they didn't need me. So
Yeah, so basically Billie Eilish ended at like 10:45 in the evening, and
at night. It wasn't night.
That's evening.
Okay.
But Woifi decided that he wanted to drive home the same night, so we didn't book our hotel.
They didn't decide, but I had to. At first I had to, and then they changed it, and then I didn't have to, and we thought about maybe we should stay.
But it would have been pretty expensive to stay in the hotel another night, so we're like, yeah, let's just drive. And then we started driving home. It's like a 4.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And so by the time we actually got out of the festival to the car, it was a little after 11.
It was basically, we started driving at 11:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I drank an energy drink, and then like halfway to Vienna, like at the halfway point, I was like getting super tired. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do it. And then we had to get a hotel in Vienna next to the Autobahn somewhere, but that's not possible without a reservation. No chance.
Yeah, at that point it was like 2 in the morning, 2:30.
Yeah, no chance.
And we tried like 3 different places.
Yeah.
And that wasted a bunch of time, so we just decided to keep driving, which for me was fine. I just slept in the car.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to just drive home, which actually was not that bad because at that point I wasn't tired at all. And I stopped for gas and got some water, and I drove until the drive itself took us then almost a little more than 5 hours because of the stop and wasting time in Vienna. But it was fine. We got home at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we slept a little bit. But then it was actually good because we got a new heating system installed in the house, which the people needed me kind of.
Yeah.
So it was good that we were here. But it was also nice that I didn't have to work because then I had that day off where I could chill a little bit. That was our summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 3 days of our summer.
Right. But that was
But that was the main event of the summer.
Yeah.
The next thing is we're going to Prague next weekend.
Yes.
Or by the time this comes out.
Oh, also our birthday was yesterday.
Out? Oh, this comes out Friday.
Yeah.
Next week.
So our
birthday was yesterday. And, I will send Woifi a link to add this if anyone wants to contribute. But for my birthday, I'm asking for people to donate to the charity Point of Pride.
Okay.
Well, I'll put up a link. It's like either Instagram or Facebook link. And they basically help people who, like trans folks, get proper healthcare.
Okay.
All around the world, not just in the US.
Oh, it's cool.
And they do it's a really awesome thing that they do. You can read more about their mission statement in the link. But
that sounds cool.
If you want to donate a little bit,
the link will be in the description. And in the next episode, we'll just tease something a little bit here. We are pregnant.
We are indeed.
And in the next episode, we will talk a little bit about our journey to get where we are now.
Yeah. So
you might want to listen to that one because it's not your typical, we fucked and got pregnant story. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing. No, don't consider.
Yeah, you always say please consider.
Just subscribe. If you're not subscribed, just do it. It's one button. If you don't listen to every episode, that's fine. Just subscribe. And if you see, there's another episode, I might like that, just listen to it.
Yeah.
Give it a go. And rate the podcast, please. Like, if you like just one episode, just go to Apple and rate it. Give it 4 or 5 stars. Maybe 5 stars, not 4. And just leave a little nice note there. We appreciate that. And if you really, really like what you hear, you can head over to our Patreon page.
Indeed.
Where Hey Joe is hanging out, and you can be part of our Patreon tier and help us to build out the podcast, flesh it out, get new gear, and you get something for that, obviously.
Indeed.
That's it.
Watch out for deer.
Goodbye, everybody, from Mrs. Butterscotch.